तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। सर्पत्वेन यथा रज्जु रजतत्वेन शुक्तिका विनिर्मीता विमूढेन देहत्वेन तथात्मता। Here is a set of verses. Establishing the truth of misperception. There are different types of misperception. Because there is a contention whether every perception is true. There is no such thing as misperception. The object of perception is elsewhere. Snake is elsewhere. Rope is elsewhere. You are only seeing the real snake on this rope, real rope. Two different things. Therefore, what you have seen before elsewhere, you are seeing it here. It's called yathā. So, you had seen snake before, and it is there in your memory. The remembered snake is real. You are not remembering a false snake. You are remembering a real snake. And here, what is perceived is a rope. And therefore the remembered snake and the perceived object get mixed up. But both are real. Rope is real and snake is real. This is one kind of argument. Therefore they are trying to prove that there is no such thing, one is satyam, the other is mithya. There are two satyams. They get mixed up. But there is no mithya. Rope is mithya, nahi. Rope is satyam. One can hang oneself. And the snake is satyam. You need not hang. It will take care of you. And therefore, so that is also satyam. Rope also is satyam. So two satyams are there. Where is mithya? There is no mithya. They have to establish absence of mithya. Absence of ignorance also. Because there is only satyam. Ignorance is there only when there is mithya and you see it as satyam. And mithya is mistaken for satyam. It's not true. Everything is satyam. One misperception can be there. Generally, I told you, I think I told in this session or in a previous session, there is one Swami Ishwarananda. In the previous session I told, Swami Ishwarananda, he is like Swami, he is a lookalike. And therefore I am a lookalike of Ishwarananda. When I travel in India, I go to the airport, and then somebody comes and does namaskar at the airport. Then I try to find out who this fellow is. Because they may know me, I may not know. Then I say, Swamiji, from when did you come? And something like that they ask. So then in the beginning just I tried to figure out who is this person. And then that fellow talks to me as though he knows me very well. And therefore I don't know. So I'm getting older. And therefore I cannot really say this fellow is committing a mistake. Therefore I am committing, give the benefit of doubt to that fellow. And I'm waiting for some indication. Then indication came. Swamiji, so when did you come from Mount Abu? So Mount Abu is Ishwarananda's place. So when did you come from in Mount Abu? I know. Therefore the namaskar I have got one due to Ishwarananda. So I just count and keep the accounts. So I get 8 namaskars. One full namaskar and 2 or 3 half namaskar. And like this, all these namaskars I keep them in my mind. And when I meet him, then I ask him how many you have. It must be more, definitely. And therefore you please give me my namaskars, I will give you your namaskar. Two different people, real people. Just because he takes me for another person, I don't become mithya. I am satyam. This is the argument. They exist in different places. It's called yathā. It is true. How come this, you remembered all right. I don't mind his smriti rupaha. You remembered all right. And suppose you know that you remembered it. You will never, you saw the rope and then you remembered the snake and the rope looks like that snake. Then there is no misperception. You have a remembered rope. You have a remembered snake. And there is a perceived rope. Do you see two different things? If you know it's a remembered rope, there will be no misperception. And you should see the remembered snake, you will see this rope also. But why? How come you don't see the rope? You see only the remembered snake. Your memory does play a role there. I accept that. But you don't see it as memory. If you see it as memory, you will have enough space to see the rope. But you don't have that space. You don't see it as memory. You see it as snake. I know that you don't see it as gagabugain. Why? Because you don't know what is gagabugain. Nor you take the rope for an elephant. And therefore there must be some kind of similarity. Is there, no doubt. And therefore, so this rope snake, in this, there is only one object. And you jump. For a memory, for remembered snake or remembered fire does not burn you. And then you remember fire and then you burn. It's not like that. A remembered fire doesn't burn you. A remembered snake doesn't bite you. And therefore you can remember a rattler also. That doesn't rattle you at all. It's a remembered snake. But here, you sweat. And when this snake is very near and there is nothing, no place to run because it's a track and one-way track, then you have to go this way. Suppose there is a wild elephant and this fellow was running, wild elephant, and then he was running and there was a snake. Where will he go? He can't go back because the wild elephant is there. Possible, you know. In Coimbatore, I told this Swamini from Malaysia. She had come. Then I said, then please watch your feet when you walk. Watch your feet when you walk because these rattlers are there. And therefore you please watch your feet and walk. And she was watching her feet, she's having a torchlight and it was 8 o'clock and she watched her feet and walk. And then she looks up, there is an elephant standing. I didn't tell her, now and then look up. So I did. This is Coimbatore. Now you decide, are you going to come or? That's our ashram, okay? It's kind of a place. Real Gurukula, Aranyam, forest, wild place. And therefore, a snake, real snake, is real. That will make you sweat. And a snake that is not there cannot make you sweat. A remembered snake, but here it makes you sweat. And therefore it is swakale satyavad bhati. In its own time, until you see what is the truth of that snake, it is real. It can make you run. It has got all the power of your reality. Like in dream, you run, you have cramp. Somebody is chasing you and you run and you have cramps and you fall down and the fellow is catching you up. And then you get up and then run. And then fear, I'm going to be caught. He's got a knife in hand. Then you wake up and you don't find nobody. Big relief. You get a relief. This is all so cheap ananda. And so but it's not cheap, you underwent all that. A relief from your own projection. In life also it's like that. Moksha is like that. A relief from your own projection. Bondage is just your own projection upon yourself. And therefore relief from that projection, release from that projection is called moksha. As though bound. Therefore, as though released. There is no bandha, there is no moksha. But as long as you feel this, there is ignorance. Ignorance is ruler. Ignorance and confusion. Mere ignorance cannot do anything. I told you, ignorance is bliss if it is total. You must be ignorant, you should not know you are ignorant. And you should not commit any mistake also due to ignorance. Then there is no issue. That is why in sleep there is ignorance, there is no issue at all. Because there is no mistake. In dream, yes. And it is all real. In dream, it's all real. Sokale satyavad bhati. Prabodhe asad bhavet. Prabodhe sati asad bhavet. In its own time. Means as long as it exists, you are not awake. That's real. You are accountable. Any crime committed in the dream, or you are accused for a crime that you didn't do, so you have to prove yourself that you are innocent. Till then the police is after you. You are under the grip. And therefore that's all very real. wake up, there is no police, there is no police station, there is nothing. The innocent fellow who is afraid of a fly, he didn't do any crime. A house fly, he will run away. What crime he can do, poor fellow? That's the truth. Sokale, in its own. When it is ruling, when you are under the spell of that projection, everything is real. Punya is real, papa is real, birth is real, death is real, and old age is real, disease is real, everything is real. Like now. So with reference to dream, this is real, that is false. With reference to further awakening, understanding the truth of Ishvara, Ishvara Srishti, till then, this is real. Therefore, misperception is the problem. Due to ajnanam, of course. So when you take a rope for a snake, this is the rajju, and the rajju is the rope, and you take it for a snake. In this, it is not misperception, just misperception of one thing. So two real things, that is the contention of these people. Two real things and there is no mithya. They want to prove there is no mithya. They will accept misperception, but they will not accept mithya. So this is what we say, Vishishtadvaita. Anyatha khyati. Elsewhere rope is there, elsewhere snake is there, here rope is there. So it got mixed up. The remembered snake and the perceived object got mixed up. Both are real, there is no mithya. How will you answer this? They will argue until the crows come. Means whole night they will argue, day and night. How will you answer that? All our knowledge up to one more question only. And therefore you have to answer these fellows. So he is establishing that there is only one reality at the time of perception. It's not a remembered snake. If it is a remembered snake, you will see the rope. And if you are mistaking the rope for snake and you have got sweat, you are frightened, that's because it's the real snake. But it is not real. Therefore, this is one mithya. This is very important for understanding the jivatvam is superimposed upon Atma. So the jiva gains Atmata. It gains the status of being Atma, no other reality. The jiva gains the status of being Atma, there is no other Atma, only jiva. Jiva means as good as the body, mind, sense complex. That is what the jiva is looking at, and there is a certain connection between the jiva and this body, deha and dehi, because the sukma sharira does not extend beyond the physical body. And therefore, so you get up, this fellow decides to get up, then what gets up is his body, correct? What gets up? Only this body gets up, another one doesn't get up. If it is extended, the other also will get up. You raise your hand, other also will raise the hand. And this will be another cumbersome problem. So this is It's not like that. Only one sharira. That accounts for individuality. Very big it is. That's all law of karma. That's the model. Very beautiful. Therefore, so this jiva, he must have an identity. Because I am. Once I know that I am, then I must identify who I am. And then he identifies himself as good as this body, mind, sense complex. And that is limited. Therefore, I am limited. And if few more I take and I become private limited. And therefore, I am limited. Limited, limited, limited. Each one is limited. So this is real. Until the bluff is called. And it is universal. That makes a mistake real. If you have 10 more people enough, you can get along with the mistake. Therefore, in a mental hospital, and where except one person, all are sane. And the person is the doctor who comes to treat them. And that is the only fellow misbehaves and behaves odd. He is abnormal. And the fellows themselves talk, what is this fellow? I think he's wrong. Something wrong with him. Mentally is wrong with him. Because, so they are normal. Suddenly they laugh, suddenly they talk, suddenly. So whatever that is, that's wonderful. So that's normal. We are normal. This fellow is consistently doing something wrong. Yeah. Therefore you need, what I am arriving at, I don't know. So this is... Swami becomes odd. Then everybody else is okay. And therefore, so this is what happens. So, you have got support. You have got support. And that by majority, you are right. Majority, that's all you require to pass as sane. Everybody should commit the same mistake. And everybody was born ignorant. And everybody has this karya karana sanghata, the body, mind, sense complex. And therefore everybody has the same issues. And the little plus or little less or whatever, issues are the same. Little heavier, unconscious, and little lighter unconscious, but it's all the same. It's all the same. Aage piche thoda hota hai, a little bit, idhar udhar, but it's the same. One is highly decorated person, awarded person. The other one, the limited person is awarded. So awarded limited and decorated limited. And so I'm decorated limited. Now he is 72 and 75. And on this Independence Day or whatever day, Republic Day, whatever day here, so National Day, then he comes in a parade. And the fellow cannot, in the old clothes, they are loose or they are very tight. And then this is coming with all the ribbons, colors and all that. That's what it is. The old age gets you. Whether you are educated or uneducated, literate, illiterate, goes on. Therefore, understand that the mistake, because universal, ignorance is universal, therefore mistake can be universal, and that doesn't pass, the majority doesn't become truth. An opinion that is held by the majority doesn't become fact. One person said the world is The world is not flat, it's a globe. The sun is not moving, we are moving. And they put him to death because he's talking something against the church. Church has to pass whatever you say. Just recently they pointed out something, that evolution can be accepted because God wanted that way. No, they have a little bit. Doesn't matter. It won't disturb our theology. Therefore, theology must be right, and anything that disturbs theological contentions, then that is wrong. The other way is, what is wrong? If there is evidence, there is proof, then wrong, we should go against that contention. If there is proof and evidence, and it should go. That is what learning mind is. So it is our theology doesn't accept that, and therefore that is wrong, this is right. You understand the different types of mind. What is indoctrination? How harmful it is. I think there is no greater harm one can do to another person, human being, than conditioning that fellow's mind. If what I teach doesn't really mean much to one, at least I can open up the person to fresh air, to the fresh air of thinking. All the windows open. Some ventilation is there. In Sanskrit, they say kupa manduka. In a small well, a frog is living. It was born there and brought up there and it is living there. And another alien frog from outside jumped into the well. By mistake, it fell into the well. And then this frog saw this new frog. Are you frog? Yes. From where did you come? From outside world. There is outside world? Yes, there is outside world. Is it big? It's very big. What very big? Is it as big as this? It jumped from this end to that end. This is called Kupa Manduka. A frog in the well. And so, majority doesn't really. Majority can elect a government. Okay? A false notion held by the whole humanity is wrong if it is wrong, and against all evidence, if somebody holds on to it, that person is murkha. He is called murkha. He is called fool. Definition of fool is that. Against all evidence. Everybody can be a fool. Against all evidence, you hold on to a false notion that makes a person foolish. It's called murkha. He is called mudha. Now here, we have these varieties of verses here. Sarpatvena. Okay. Therefore, let us look at this. Sarpatvena yathā rajju, rajatatvena śuktika, vinirnītā vimūdena. vimudena. By this vimuda, the really deluded person, murkha, by this murkha, vinirnita, he is ascertained. He is understood what rajju, the rope, is taken for a snake, sarpatvena. As one, it has got the status of being a serpent. It has got the attribute of sarpa. It doesn't have. It has no fangs. It's not a live animal. Sarpatvena vinirnita rajjuhu. And similarly, rajatatvena shuktika vinirnita. Shuktika, a mother of pearl, as though it enjoys the attribute of being silver. In this mistake, one thing we have to learn. There are a few things there. If you take the rope for a snake, you are seeing an object, number one. You are seeing an object. That's very important. Therefore, your perception is this object. Here is this object. That is your perception. This object. What is this object? Snake. And therefore, this object is snake. This will join snake. This is snake. This stands for object. And therefore, so what is seen by me is snake. This is snake. This joins snake. But when I look into this snake, so what kind of snake, whether it is poisonous snake or non-poisonous snake, I wanted to find out, and therefore I used the flashlight and saw, and it is not even a water snake, garden snake, it is just a rope. Now where will this go? The word this, the object, it indicates an object. That object, where will it go? I see rope. And this snake goes away. Another rope I see. Then that is not a mistake. The snake was sitting upon the rope. Just for a sense of humor. And therefore with a sense of humor, and it was sitting upon the rope. And then it saw the rope with 3 bends, and snake also made it 3 bends and make it look like snake. 2 things are there. And it has got its own sense of humor and then try to be like the rope. And then it moved away. Therefore that is Satyam. This is also Satyam. It covered one Satyam, covered another Satyam. Therefore 2 different objects, like the lid covers what is inside, and that is also real, and what is inside also is real, because a lid is there, like even your shirt is there, it covers. It covers. And you look, this fellow has got one shirt is there was one Swami, he used to have a lot of things on him. And so in Rishikesh, one fellow was there, and he used to have one t-shirt, and over that a shirt, and over that a big gown, and then afterwards one jacket and all that he will have, and he will look like this. And then afterwards you just remove all this, and then when he goes to Ganga, and he will not remove because it's all skeleton. And then tring, you get sound like. And so that kind of a fellow is bone, just a bone structure, and he won't remove this. And so he will enter into the Ganga right and with all this. It's one type of Swami. In Rishikesh, if you stay, you will understand all these things. So you meet a lot of them. And he was a very peculiar Swami. I used to enjoy him. He will just, in summer, it's very hot. And Ganga water is ice water. Melted, snow melted, ice water. He will just go and just dip himself and then come back. And he will tell me it's air conditioned. And in his pocket, so he will have some rupee note and all of them have snanam. And I asked him, why don't you remove this? Swamiji, I look mota. Now, my mota dikhta hu. So now everybody thinks that I am mota. I am not mota. So body is like this. And this is also Satyam. And the string also is Satyam. And that Satyam is covered by this Satyam. Correct? And the snake was sitting upon it. No. First it was this snake. Now this rope. The snake resolves into the knowledge of rope. There is no snake. Rope is. So this joins. Therefore, we have three words here. Once you saw the object and referred by the word this. This indicates the object. What is the object is unascertained object. But conclusion is snake. So as though ascertained. That is the perception. So then this is snake. This is snake. Then you want to find out whether it is poisonous or non-poisonous. Then you found it is neither non-poisonous or poisonous. It is a rope. Now where will this go? This joins the rope. That means you didn't have any kind of superimposition when with reference to the object, that there is an object, this is an object. There is no superimposition. There is no mistake. And therefore, so that this becomes the locus adhara, and whatever you saw is the aropa. Whatever you projected is aropa. So this is retained. This is snake. This is retained always because there is no mistake in this. You must understand this. Then I will come later why I am saying this. So this provides the locus for committing the mistake. This object, and the object is taken for snake. And therefore, this is the adhara. This object is adhara. Snake is aropa. Therefore, it becomes this snake. That is the object that you are supposed to know. This object. You don't know, you project snake. And therefore, this is snake, you jump. And then you discover, by further inquiry, it is rope. And therefore, this remains there, joins your discovered rope. This is rope. Therefore, this is not replaced. What is replaced? The snake is replaced by rope. Correct? And therefore, that rope is to be discovered. This is not to be discovered. Rope is to be discovered, whether it is, the snake has to be discovered. What is its atma? What is the truth of this, swarupa of this? And then you find it is rope. It's a non-snake, it is rope. And the rope is the adhisthana, the word, a few technical words. Adhisthana. Rope is the adhisthana. Snake is the aropa, superimposition. The truth is the adhisthana. This is the object under contention. Look at yourself. I am. a limited jiva, humble, simple. I'm a humble, simple person. And this is, so I am a humble, simple. That symbol, they say that, they use the word, I'm simple. I'm simple person. I'm humble person, I'm simple person. So this humble symbol, this is the samsari. So I am is like this object. Because the locus must be ready for you to commit mistake. It is prasiddha. And therefore aham iti prasiddha, I am. Prasiddha, it is very well known, self-evident. And I am a jiva. I am is retained. The jivatvam is a superimposition upon Satchidatma. Here it is purely subjective. It is purely subjective. This one will go away. This is called a Brahma. This Brahma will go away. You may say Jiva continues to be there. Yeah, enlightened Jiva, that there is another example for that. But what we are attempting to gain here is the truth of this I am. Whether this Jiva is really true, limited Jiva is really true, and smarting with the sense of limitation, or the limitlessness is true. The Veda has a vision that you are limitless. You have a well-entrenched knowledge that I am limited. This knowledge is not knowledge. It is an aropa. It is a projection. And you are capable of calling the bluff. And therefore, so with the help of the teaching, the flashlight, the notions are negated. The vastu is understood. This is Satchidananda. I am. That I am continues. I don't go away. That's why these people, modern people, also a problem. You destroy the ahankara. Another I will come. Another I, the tremulous I. The tremulous I. As I will emerge. All some physical mysticism. A distance between this I and that I. Between when the snake goes away and the rope will come. So this is some kind of you create some awe. Agaminashabhajyagamahantaya spurati hritvayam paramapurnasat. When ahankara goes away, another aham will emerge. Aham. I. It will emerge. So this aham should not go away. This aham should not go away. Aham is the truth. Idam should not go away. Again problem will come. Because suppose this snake goes away, this also goes away, then you will be no wonder looking around. Because the snake, where did it go? Vapas aayega. So this also, if this is gone, it is somewhere around. Especially you saw it in your room and it is somewhere. So you can't be in the room. Unless this also joins the rope. This of snake should join the rope, and then only the snake will resolve into that rope knowledge. And therefore this doesn't go away. And similarly, I am should always be there. And what you have superimposed, that should resolve into I am, which is limitless. That's the teaching. It is self-evident. And therefore, there is nothing more than vimudatva, Brahma. So there is only a superimposition. Therefore, sarpatvena yathā rajju, rajatatvena shuktika, vinirnita vimudena. Similarly, tatā vimudena, the one who is yet to know, by that person, not there is a person called vimudaha. It's not that. Until the knowledge takes place, there is maudyam and there is delusion, because one is mistaken for another. And the one is not an object, but here one is oneself, and there is no bigger loss than this. And especially the one happens to be limitless and taken for a limited being, the loss is limitless. Correct? And therefore, this vimudena, dehatvena tatā atmata. The Atma is mistaken for deha. Means the Atmata, the status of being, is mistaken for having the attribute of body. Dehatvena. As one that has got the attribute of deha. Means I am as good as the body. Body includes mind, senses also. Dehatvena atmata. Atma, the status of Atma, is taken to have, is taken to be one having the attribute of dehatvam. The intrinsic attribute of deha. Means I am as good as the body. Then only it's a real mistake. Well entrenched mistake. And therefore, what we have to address is this confusion. And that is what the teaching is. So a few more examples, but some of them are very important to look into. And afterwards it proceeds. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.